Welcome to O-Talkin' with Dave. Here's Dave.
Hey, how we doing out there? I hope you are doing well. I am top shelf, ready to go. I'm excited. We just had another country added at Punta Cana. We're up to 21 countries and well over 200 cities, but Punta Cana, my brethren on the island in the Caribbean, however you want to say it. Yeah, they're joining in. They're getting on the O-Talk train. I love it. It's cold here. That's why I have on the jacket. I'm in Vegas. It's mid-March, and it feels like January. I didn't sign up for that. They didn't tell me that when I moved out here. The desert's supposed to be hot. And the wind's cut me in half. Am I being dramatic? Oh, I hate it when you get dramatic. It's emotional even. You know, emotions can lead to drama. But I am passionate about hot weather. That's what I want. So this is what we're talking about today. The difference in passion and emotion. And then when emotion drips over into drama. An afternoon with Liza Minnelli. Oh, please. Oh, behave. That's what you need to tell people when they get dramatic. But I like this. I like the feedback I'm getting because passion is necessary. I'm very passionate. I'm passionate about things with my family. I'm passionate about work. I'm passionate about bringing you, these things that are in my head that I just gotta get out. I'm passionate about our dogs. I just so much. And then from time to time, you get emotional. All right. And so we're going to talk about that. What's enough? What's not enough? And you're the one that has to decide that. The challenge is when you get them confused and you're acting out on emotion when it's not backed up. So I've got a few quotes here I saw, and they're all by some dude named Unknown. Nobody owns these. Man, I would own all of them. I love it. Emotion is the spark, but passion is the fire that keeps burning. I love that. Emotions are fleeting waves, but passion is the ocean beneath them. I like it. I could read these and then we could just say, hey, thanks for talking with Dave. These are great. Emotion makes you react. Passion makes you act in the first place. Emotions can be chaotic, but passion is a focused force. That makes me want to act right now. Passion, last one. Passion is a commitment. Emotion is an impulse. An impulse. So on those, as I go through some of the material today, it will come back to these things, and the way those have been structured, it's fantastic. Emotion, to me, passion is so necessary, because if you're not passionate about something, it's hard to make it last. If you're acting on emotion alone, it's fleeting, because emotions, moods, whims, whatever, they don't hang out as long. But emotion isn't a bad thing if you can manage your emotions. And as usual, when I talk about you, I mean you, your friends, your spouses, your family. You may be dead on with this stuff, but hopefully this helps us know how to interact. Some good examples of positive emotion would be when emotion, it creates a connection. Like if you're expressing joy or gratitude, you get excited about something. You got a show coming up. You're gonna you're going on a girls' weekend, or you haven't seen a friend in so long. When you get excited about that, it gets them excited, and it actually deepens the relationship. So I love that. Just telling somebody how much they mean to you, that can be an emotional thing. And then when reciprocated, it's fantastic. When you share something, another quote I saw, when you share something in sincerity, it creates unbreakable connections. I believe that with all my heart. So emotion is fantastic when it fuels connections and deepens relationships. Also, it inspires action. It's the spark that inspires action. Feelings like, I don't know, compassion or empathy or, that can spark action toward one of your passions. Seeing somebody struggle may move you to help. Or if you see that, you may think, okay, if they're struggling, there are other people struggling. So you may start volunteering or donate stuff, or it creates a whole nother group of things. It was based on initial emotion. Then it doesn't have to be world changing. It can just be something that, like we said earlier, it's a spark. It makes you act in some way. The strongest acts of kindness can come from the heart's deepest emotions. It may be something subtle to you, but it may mean the world to somebody else. And then I think another time that emotions are great is when something is created, some creative product or force or song or an entry or a thought is created because of emotions. My goodness, I don't know any artists, whether it's a writer, a musician, or anything. Emotion, and not always good emotion. I mean, you got love and sadness and excitement and desire, all these things. Those are emotions, but they enhance creativity. A songwriter turning heartbreak into a hit song resonates with millions and millions of people. I know Mike McAnally talks about how music is so special because it can take the most awful situation and you can put it into a song, and 3 minutes later out comes this beautiful work of art that touches, as I just said, that touches millions. And then a quote around that: emotion is the ink that writes the most powerful stories. And so emotion, that's great. Emotions, when not out of control, are fantastic. And it makes you stronger, makes you tougher. Determination and hope, they help people push through hardships. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is something that you need. You need that something to look forward to. You need to believe you can get through it. And sometimes emotion is that spark that keeps that going. Just athletes that get hurt, wanting to get back out there and play again, and just that drive. And that's a passion as well, but it might be some emotion that failure, I will not let this happen. And it gets them out there and it makes them train harder. Emotion is not weakness. It's not weakness. If it's weakness, it's probably sunk into drama. But emotion, when directed properly, fuels strength, fuels passion. And so I'm not anti-emotion. We're going to touch on it a little bit more in a little different light. But then the last thing is, emotion creates memories. The memories. We've got one of those frames in here, in the other room. I got it for Steph for Christmas, and it's the ones where it's a slideshow with pictures, and sometimes I catch her just staring at it, and and I do the same thing, and then sometimes we've been staring at it for a while, but we're not really looking at the pictures. One of those pictures stirred a memory. It's the emotion fueled that, and it's so rich with emotion because you can go back there, you can see it, you can almost smell the restaurant, you can hear the laughter, you can see that and remember what happened right after it. You might have had to say goodbye or something. So just the overwhelming joy of the times of your life, though the love is the passion, and you care about your family, but those emotions light that fire. They get it going again. And so when you add emotion to passion, it balances out in the right, in the right recipe, we'll say. Emotion adds depth and meaning and drive. And the key to knowing when to embrace it and when to temper it with logic, that's the key. That's the key. But I would never. When people, they used to speak, try to speak, and they would get choked up because emotion did that to them. Let's just wait a minute. Hey, and they would always apologize. Hey, never apologize for your tears. Never apologize, because that's what's driving something you're about to say that's going to touch all of us. So it's a fantastic thing. So let's talk about the differences, other than catchy quotes, between passion and emotion. So let's just take some different scenarios. So just looking at emotion, it's a temporary and often instinctive response to something. Emotions, they are fleeting, but emotions are powerful. So something is a stimuli. It's gonna make you respond. It could be anger, it could be joy, it could be sadness. All of these things, but that's emotion. Now, passion is deeper. It's more enduring. That drives your motivation, or maybe your long-term pursuits. It could be, anything. Sports. If you're a judge, it's justice. If you're into music, it's creating the art or replicating the art. So passion is focused, but it's cultivated over time. And as your passion drives you, you get deeper into it. So when we talked earlier about emotion lighting the spark, a lot of times it can rekindle passion that struggles a little bit. But the passion is the overreaching, deeper feeling or goal or vision or drive. So that's a high level. Well, when we talk about intensity, emotion, it's short-lived. It's a bottle rocket, but it gets the job done. You can be excited, feeling excited one minute, and then you can be disappointed the next. Both are emotions. Both of them emotions, so it can change so rapidly. So it's short-term. It's that booster. It's like, I don't know, you go in, get a shot of B12. Something that gives you a spark. A cup of coffee. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, now what was I doing? What am I passionate about anyway that helped me do? Where passion, in the same regard as far as intensity, it's more long term. It can withstand all these emotional shifts. My wife is kickboxing now, and she absolutely loves it, and she wants to get to a certain level. It would be great if she could get to the level where she could teach it. However, she gets upset with herself. She comes home, she can be on such a high. What a great session. And then later, but I'm so sore. And it's, why is this happening? But that passion burns right through it. I think of athletes a lot on this. I think of small business owners. They got so many setbacks, so many victories. So that passion drives them through it. Kids. My goodness, kids break your heart, but also they do the slightest little thing, and it's fantastic. And you have that hope because you have a passion for your family, and it's intense. Then we talk about a couple of things around emotion. It's more spontaneous, reactive. We said something stimulates you, and boom. But also, emotion is not well thought out. I mean, you're not thinking through this and deciding how to respond. It's boom, you respond. So a lot of times it's irrational. It's irrational. Passion, it's more deliberate. You've thought this through. Here's what I want to do. You know what? I have a passion for hiking now. Yeah, I bought a backpack. I got a backpack around here somewhere. I asked Sean for what's some good hiking shoes or hiking boots? Heck yeah. Now this is, I hope it's passion, and I hope it's not fleeting. However, that emotion side would be to where, it's just too far. oh my goodness, I don't, or oh my goodness, there's a bighorn sheep right there, and I'm so excited. And if it wasn't for hiking, I never would have seen that. Oh my goodness, or maybe to go to the not thinking it through. You know, you may go along and see a snake or something, and my wife would jump off the bluff. That's emotional. That's a reaction. She didn't think that through. She didn't think that through. God, I hope that don't happen. I hope it does not happen. But anyway, the cognitive side of emotion versus passion. That's when emotion can get you in trouble, but your passion will get you through it. And then just the whole decision making thing. Emotion, it can cloud your judgment, and this is a little different than just the cognitive thinking it through. Emotion, you can actually think it through, and your judgment is cloudy, leading to impulsive actions. Maybe you double up that Amazon cart, or you make negative decisions based on a moment in time. You can cloud your judgment. Whereas passion, you got long-term purpose. You know how you want this to end, and those decisions are probably going to be more sound, less cloudy. So that's, just looking at it. And it's hard to do this without contrasting how the two work with women. And don't shoot the messenger. I love women. I do. I don't know what we would do without you. But individual experiences may be different, because some women fall into stereotypes, some don't, as with men. But let's just talk about emotional expression for women. That social creatures, they're more open with their emotions. They're more empathetic. We've talked about that. They're more compassionate. They don't mind letting you know they're sad or happy. I mean, you can see it. That's why there are fewer women poker players. You can read them like a book. And so, because they are more open with their emotions, it can lead to perception sometimes that they're too emotional. You're too emotional. And, maybe they are sometimes. Maybe they are. And then you got to watch when that goes into drama. However, with expressing emotion, men have usually been encouraged to suppress their emotions and vulnerability. Now, we've talked about the traditional male. We've talked about toxic masculinity. And we've also talked about the pussified male, American male. The thing is, if we know people and we know how they respond, then we can plan and measure our response, or we can amp it up. Emotions like anger, they're more acceptable for men. You get pissed. You're supposed to get pissed. You know what? I'm pissed off. Oh, goodness, a guy comes up next to you and revs the engine. Oh, who does he think he is? What does he think he's doing? Oh, that's an emotional response. You're about to possibly lose. Your manhood's been questioned, and you're going to spend a lot of money on gas. Yeah, just calm down. That's an emotional response based on macho anger. So that's just that expression and the differences. As far as passion and drive, women, they're more relational and community driven. They for a good cause, absolutely. If they want to advocate something, or caregiving, or help out with the kids' school, stuff like that. The passion is often linked to a bigger meaning, maybe something interpersonal with them, or something long term with them. Where men, they tend to express passion based on achievement, a career, ambitions, competition. You get a bunch of guys together that, they can be in their 50s, and you get 4 guys together that played sports back in high school together. That passion comes back. Oh, they can't remember where they put their shoes, but they can remember the time on the clock, what happened, exactly that situation, and they'll get emotional about it too. They get all pumped up again. But that's passion. of competition. And all, maybe a little regret may be built in there. I don't know. The frustrated athlete, that type of thing. I don't know. However, they are driven by passion in some way, and it's usually more long term, and maybe not as altruistic as women. I mean, they have a lot more going on in that regard, but passion's often linked to status or success or goals. That's why we still have our trophies. We'll keep our trophies. I guarantee you, the first person that had a bass or a fish taxidermied, it wasn't a woman. You got a deer on the wall, it's probably a guy, because that's status in some way. Now let's talk about the social perception. Passionate women often seem determined and committed, but also can be labeled as intense, overly ambitious, because that's more of a male thing. Women being passionate about something. Then again, men are more likely to be perceived as driven and forceful and a visionary. So that's not really fair, is it? But that's how society looks at it. And I think it goes back to traditional roles. Now, is it right or wrong? I don't know. It depends on you. I know a lot of the equality talk comes from that, the different roles and the perceptions. I got to tell you, some of the most driven people in my life that I've seen in business are women. And you can't coach, you can't teach passion. It's got to be there. Probably one of the most stated things I've ever said is, I had a lot rather have to calm somebody down than to fire them up. And I mean that. I mean, if they're stuck on go, that's great. You can help them and coach them and tweak it here or there. But if they're not moving, I don't want any part of it. So let's talk about emotional versus passionate reactions in men or women. So women are more likely to have their emotions interpreted as over the top or irrational, even when they're, it's based in passion. For instance, if a woman is passionately advocating for something, and it could be really based in passion, and determination is driving it, a lot of times, unfortunately, it'll be dismissed as, they're just emotional. That's probably by a guy who is either jealous, is not as passionate, or, he's got some improvables in his life. Whereas men, their passion is, it's not emotion. Oh, what a great leader. What a great speech. Even if it has emotional elements, even if he gets angry and is pounding his fist. Oh, look at that guy. Look at that fire. Look at that passion. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. Passion is long-term, purpose-driven force, where emotion is just a response. A lot of time an instinctual response. It's, learned behavior, but also it's just a reaction. And both men and women, they have it. They have the passion, they have the emotion, and it's normal. It's normal, but recognizing the difference, it can help create a more balanced understanding of who we're dealing with. Now, I know you can think of women right now who get emotional really quickly, but think of the women who are really passionate. Men or women out there, think of that, because I don't think women are getting a fair shake with this. A lot of times they will get someone with more, I'll say more of a reputation of success, because it's very hard for a woman when they're considered emotional to really get that passion going. And then you see, I get it. Now see, there's some examples. My good friend Christina, she is a surfer. Her passion is surfing. A day without surf is a bad day, and then she'll get emotional. However, you can't break that. You can't break that passion. And you say, David, well, it's surfing. It's a fun activity. No, you don't understand. Surfers have to surf. Players got to play. Surfers have to surf, and that passion, you either have it or you don't. I don't. I don't. And see, over time, passions wane a little bit. But I'm telling you, there's no man more passionate about anything than Christina is about surfing. So that's one thing. In business, I know people who in the past have transformed entire organizations, women, because they were passionate for the end in mind. And they overcame odds. It's unbelievable. And they were still emotional, but they could not have done that without that passion. And it was their vision. Their vision. So I think they get a bad rap. So the when we talk about why passion should take precedence over emotion, and to me it's not an always thing, but it is the constant, the long term, the less impulsive. That's what I'm talking about here. Passion gives you long term direction. Emotions come and go. They're high, they're low. But the sustained effort and vision comes from a passion. And it doesn't have to be just one person. If you get a group of people that are passionate, that gives you your sense of purpose. That helps with the lows. And hopefully the highs aren't too high and the lows aren't too low, but it keeps you committed to the goal when there's setbacks. No matter if you're going on a camping trip or going into big negotiations or you're passionate about a relationship. And the second thing is emotions, they're not predictable. Not only are they temporary, they're not predictable. They can fluctuate based on a circumstance when anything can happen. That gives the slightest bit inconsistency. Emotions can flare up where passion is going to be stable. Okay, this happened, but it'd be like going on a trip. You know the destination. You know how long it's going to take. You plan for it. You didn't plan on a flat tire. You didn't plan on maybe traffic in a particular area, and you may react emotionally. The way to get through it, with the end in mind. Passion leads to growth, and growth leads to mastery. Okay, what I mean by that is when you're driven by passion, you'll invest the time and energy into getting better at something. It may be better at public speaking. It could be better at certain components, better dealing with negative people, better calming down positive people. Maybe it's a sport to where over time you know the weaknesses, you work on them, and through repetition you get better. So you're going to improve your skills, you're going to learn more, and the byproduct of that is you're going to grow and you're going to master it just out of repetition. But you know what pushes that repetition? It's the passion. Where emotions, my goodness. How many times have I quit golf? How many times have I quit? During a round. But all in all, I love the experience. I love to hit that ball. I love to be outside. I love the camaraderie with the guys. Some things happen out there that can't happen anywhere else. And I love it. I have a passion for the sport. But the emotions will crop up along the way. If you play enough, you're going to get better, and those crazy shots aren't going to happen as much. They'll always happen, especially for me. But passion leads to growth and mastery of whatever it is, whereas emotions make you give up. Another one, passion helps you navigate the challenges. Instead of giving up, no, I'm going to find a way through this. Difficulties, they're going to happen. They're absolutely going to happen, but passion keeps you going when emotions such as frustration and discouragement and people just hanging out in the passing lane or a bunch of cyclers going into my lane in their leotards. Emotions make me want to do something impulsive. But passion is what makes me tough, and I can take it. I can take it. Emotions cloud your judgment. We talked about that earlier. It can be excitement. It could be anger. You could be afraid. That can lead to impulsive decisions, but passion is going to make you be more strategic in your thinking. The passion will make you think, I know this is a chance this is going to happen, and that's going to upset me, and I may be impulsive. Let me plan around that. because I know emotion is going to cloud my judgment. And then the passion is also going to create, it's going to, when you follow your passion and stick to it, you're going to have more meaningful moments. That we talked earlier about women who have passion about more fulfilling things like caregiving or something with children that's going to last and bloom and they usually have more empathy, which leads to more meaning. Where emotions alone, oh, that's a cute puppy, Don't ever buy a puppy on impulse, by the way, because it will create a passion somewhere else. If you don't have a passion for that, you definitely have some clouded judgment. Also, emotion is often, like we've said, it's reactive, but passion is proactive. I'm for the proactive, but like we've discussed, emotion, it's a response. You're triggered and you respond. And that could be excitement. It could be an anger, where passion is more internally driven. And people who follow their passion, they take that internal action rather than just reacting to stimulus. Emotion may say, let's wait till tomorrow. Where passion is going to say, no, I got to do it today. It's a good thing. Passion also, we talk about emotion and creativity, but passion fuels creativity. Inventors. Look at all, goodness gracious, all the inventors who'd been through hundreds of failures. That wasn't emotion driving that. These people who've written so many songs, that's their outlet. Leaders that have lost over and over. And I talk to, great leaders, whether it's, political leaders or nation builders or whatever, without that passion, without the breakthroughs every now and then that are emotion that it fuels that passion, it would have been a short-lived inspiration for sure. And I can tell in my life what I'm not passionate about. I can tell what is based on emotion, based on how it didn't last very long. I get obsessed with things, and man, I'm all in on it. I am all in on it. And if I'm not terribly passionate about it, okay, I have a lot of gear I bought that's sitting in the corner. A couple more. Passion builds stronger relationships. Just think about it. People can be impulsive with emotion in the same way, or, I can be excited and you can be upset. Okay, all right. But when you tie people with the same passions, that can be a deep, long-lasting relationship. I know people who play golf together for 40 years. I know people who played tennis together for decades. My wife is right now with her kickboxing friends. They're all into it, and they're so passionate about it. She stays after and talks to them now, and they help each other, and it's something they all want to get better. They're cheering for each other because they have the same passion, and that's why passion can build deep relationships, lifelong relationships. And then I think one of the best things is passion encourages persistence. Emotion does not. No, emotion does not. Emotion can make you quit when it gets tough, but passion makes you stick in there. Careers, relationships, personal projects around the house, just passionate individuals, they learn to deal with the emotions. And emotions go up and down, but persistence is the key. So, emotions are natural. They're necessary. They can re-spark it. But passion gives you that foundation. So I've hinted at it. Here's the bad thing, is when emotions turn to drama. Dealing with dramatic people, and, good people get dramatic. I guess I've gotten dramatic at times. But it's everywhere. And understanding the difference between passion and emotion is important. But so also understanding drama when you see it, because that's an indicator. So dramatic people love and feed on emotion. They love to react impulsively too, and they want to escalate it. If you're on fire, they're going to put you in the microwave and heat you up more. They put an exponent beside your emotion. Where a passionate person, they're going to be focused on solutions. Okay, all right. They're the ones that will call you back in. They'll call you back in, or they'll go away and do it themselves, but they're not going to let your drama, which just blew up the emotion, derail them. You know, the quote, don't get pulled into whirlwinds, stay anchored in your passion. And that's, that's both a nautical but also a navigational thing. Don't get pulled into emotional whirlwinds, in this case, drama. At home it's tough because I love it when my wife and daughter or son, they get excited and they get emotional. It's great. But a dramatic family member it's not just positive emotion. They can just overreact to things, positive or negative, because they need constant validation. And, as a parent, you want to give them that. But you don't want to feed that behavior. But instead of reacting emotionally, just, staying calm through whatever that is, they see that. It's hard to stay calm sometimes, but that's the way to do that. And then redirect that conversation to something solutions-based. If something is horrible, all right, let's work this out. That's easier for me because I get drawn into drama sometimes through positive emotion and just get so excited. And I'll be impulsive. We'll talk about something and, I'm going to go buy tickets right now, and it's not for 2 years. Something. But a good example, a good response to that family member who has just taken emotion to a stellar stage of drama is, maybe it's something horrible. I get it, you're upset. Let's talk about what we can do to get past this and have them engage. Don't turn it into an Andy Griffith moment where you're doing all the talking. Let them dig in, because as they dig in, they'll probably see the difference. Hopefully. But at work, trying to stay professional during drama, work drama, it can be gossip, it can be conflicts, and then overreactions. Conflicts lead to gossip, which leads to overreactions. It's all drama. It's tough. I've worked with a lot of, I'll get in trouble here. I've worked with a lot of women, some passionate, some dramatic, some emotional, and then you put them together and they're going to fight. Because some want to feed it, some want to stop it, and some don't want it to stop. And, guys are the same way, but I am thinking of specific teams of women. That's one of the first things when I go in to fix things, I have to correct. So what you do is you have to focus on the facts. Focus on the facts. I was talking about a situation earlier today. It popped in my mind from years ago where I had to go in and make some cuts based on business decisions. We got 3 people doing the same job, and that job only takes one person to do. Well, the time leading up to the decision, the emotion, the passion, the drama. We just had to focus on the facts and not let all of that feed into the decision. And, at work, to me, it's much easier because you can say it's business. It's professional. We're solution-oriented here. When you're dealing with an over-emotional coworker, let's just talk about the outcome we want here. What problems do we have to solve? How do we want this to turn out? And basically, you make a business decision. It's much tougher at home or in social situations. And in social situations, it's easy to get sucked into the chaos created by drama. Some friends, they love it. They love to stir it up. If everything's going well, they're gonna make up something. I've been in a bunch of bands, and you always have your drama guy or your drama girl. Usually it's a drama guy in bands, just so you know. They'll make up a story or they'll plant something to get upset about. And there's plenty. There's plenty without having to plant something. But you just don't feed into it. You don't listen. Yeah, well, I just mind my own business. I don't know if I don't hear it straight from them. I don't believe it. What is the thing? I only believe 90% of what I don't believe 90% of what I hear, or 80% of what I see. It's just don't get into that. But it's constant. It's what breaks bands up. Drama, jealousy. It's all drama. But you just gotta get away from it. Either get away from the band or get away from the drama. And luckily, most of the time it works its way out. Bar has no drama in their band. They have in the past, but they don't now. But, the quote, don't attend every argument you're invited to. That sounds like something my papa would say. But the whole thing in dealing with drama is stay calm, redirect the focus back to a solution and the facts. And you got to set boundaries. Choose not to participate. That's the best way. And then if these people are trying to impact you personally, don't take it personal. Just understand this. It must be exhausting being that person to need to create that, because some people will let them. They'll always be a sponge to soak up the drama. Okay, now for the average person, distinguishing passion and emotion, it can be challenging because they're so intertwined. But the differences lie in how long does it last? And is it impacting the decisions? So here's a good way to just look at the two. Look at the duration. We've talked about that. Emotions are quick, short-lived, fleeting. They're almost like moods. They're even quicker than moods, really. A mood can last a little bit, but it's tied to something specific. It's a feeling. It's a feeling about an opportunity or a loss. And it might even not be that big a deal, but emotion will make you react. Whereas passion, again, it's long term. Would I still, the thing to ask you, a good litmus test is, would I still feel this way a month or a year from now? I mean, how many times have you thought about, maybe a problem with someone else, and then 2 months later you can't even remember what started it? And if you do, it's like, that's no big deal. It's because it's based in emotion. Yeah. Another thing is, look at the trigger. What triggered it? Emotion is usually by an event or somebody's words, something. Somebody said something, or a lyric made you cry, or a lyric made you think about something, or it's just a reaction. Like when the fireworks go off, it's ooh, ah, that firework is gone, and so is that emotion until it comes back. But passion, it comes from deep inside. Nothing momentary there. I mean, an artist is drawing a painting that takes months to paint. That inspiration is gone. And they're painting even when nobody else is watching because they're inspired and they've got passion for that. And so that's the thing. Is this, I'm feeling this way. Okay, is it because something happened or is it something deep inside? And that's how you can decide if it's emotion or passion. Also, look at your actions. Look at it. Impulsive reactions. I had a bad day, so I quit my job. What? You did what? That's emotion. That's emotion. Or, I've been wanting to do something for a long time. I've been wanting to pursue this and thinking through it and I've done this and I've decided long term the best thing for me is to do this. And so, I resigned my job today. That's totally different. One's based on passion and one's based on emotion. Yeah. So that's your actions, are they spontaneous or are they well thought out? Then check for logical consistency. If you're all over the board, you're contradicting yourself 1 minute to the next, you may be acting on emotion. You're feeling excited about a new relationship one day and then, my goodness, breaking up because they have man hands on the next, or any other Seinfeld scenario. That's based on emotion. You really like this person, and the slightest little thing, I don't know. Yeah, I remember that's the old infatuation situation. But logical and consistent with passion, it remains stable. The core is the same. You may add a little or take a little away, but the core is still there. It's got a vibrant core. And even though your enthusiasm goes up and down, an entrepreneur is still going to push forward. That inventor is never going to give up, even though there's doubts and failures. So, I mean, the thing to ask you there is, do I keep coming back no matter how many times I get kicked in the face? Because if it's emotion, you won't get kicked in the face too many times. And then, see how it affects your well-being. Emotion, it's draining. It's overwhelming, especially when it's negative. Positive, you can get by a little more, but even that is draining. But negative, if it's based on emotion, it's going to drag you down. It's going to cause all sorts of health and, it's going to be mental problems until it's physical. Whereas a passion, you'll find things to fulfill you, even when it's challenging. The thing to ask you there is, does this feeling leave me exhausted or inspired? Yeah, I had a setback, but I can do this, man. I know I can do this. That's passion. And then, you've got to consider the impact on others. Emotion is self-centered and reactive, and that's going to wear people out, where passion inspires other people. If you see people reacting emotionally to you in the negative, you're probably emotional. Whereas if you're inspiring them and they want to join that, hey, let's talk more about that. All right, now that's based on passion. So there's a lot to be said about it. This, just to close it out, observe the duration. Look at what's triggering this. And once you look at the duration and see what's triggering it, then a lot of times you can tell the difference. Am I being impulsive, or is this the way that it's been for a while? Is it based on passion? And just look through that. These logical decisions I'm making, or something else. So focusing on that passion instead of living in emotion, it's going to make you tougher. And so I want to close with 5 ways to thrive with passion while avoiding the negative parts of emotion. So the first one is understand yourself. Develop some emotional awareness. Recognize when, look, I'm feeling a little fragile today. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe I don't need to make some big decisions today. Let me just calm down and think about, the passion. Think about what I want, and also think, is this temporary? I'm not going to make any decisions till I had a couple of cups of coffee and am thinking clearly. And once you do that, if you're frustrated at work, don't quit. Give it a minute. Pause. Passion's going to make you persevere, or at least it's going to make you more logical over time. Okay, so develop that awareness of yourself. Second, set clear long-term goals. Not iffy. If this happens, I'd like to do that. No. If everything works out, here's what I want. No. At home, work, and play. Because passion is going to thrive with direction or a target. If you got a purpose and break it down to steps, and you take the time to do that. And if you're passionate about something, you will do that. Then emotions, they're going to come, but they're not going to derail you. I've got 3 months right here, and that's my path. That's what I go, and I look at things I'm so excited about, and things come up, and I'm thinking, okay, that might get in the way, but I plan around that because the passion is not going to wane just because I have a couple of hiccups. So set clear long-term goals. I'm looking at what I want to accomplish in the next 10 years. I'll be 70, but I'm going to focus on those things. And yeah, there'll be ups and downs, but the ones I'm passionate about, nothing's going to stop me. And then build the discipline. Build consistency. Passion's not enough by itself. You need You need a routine and you need discipline, because remember we said you keep doing it, you're going to get better at it. And then you're going to master it. And then you're going to enjoy it. I know so many people who are my age, and in the last 5 years they took golf lessons. And they're thinking, oh my goodness, I've been struggling with this part of my game for 30 years. Why didn't I take these lessons way back when? All right. Well, now you learn from it. So now when you're going to do something, get some help. It helps with the mastery. But stick to the daily, weekly events. Even your emotions are going to fluctuate. The thing is, I mean, if you're going to work out, well, you're going to be sore. And there are going to be mornings you don't want to go work out. When you do, though, you feel better. And you made it through it. Then you're proud of yourself. You don't let the old man in. And creating a schedule and planning and all this stuff. Some are better at that than others, but it builds discipline. And then don't make emotional decisions. Now, I'm not talking about the silly small ones. Yeah, but not when it involves your passion. Before making big choices, think through it. Pause. The power of the pause. Am I deciding this based on the overall goal, or based on what somebody just said to me, or based on how I feel this morning? Separate emotion from the decisions. I mean, logic and facts, that might be boring sometimes, but it usually works out better. And then ask somebody, here's what I'm thinking about. Does that sound logical to you? And if they, I'm a little crazy. I do some crazy stuff, but it sounds logical to me. And a lot of times it turned out that way. But you got that person that will, call your baby ugly to tell you got a booger in your nose. They would say, ooh, this isn't because of what so-and-so said is it? Or is this because of what blah, blah, blah? Okay, listen to that person. Because number 5, and it's usually my number 5, surround yourself with positive, passion-driven people. Be around the kind of people you want to be. Because passion grows in the right environment. Negativity, you're going to face it. Emotions, of course. Drama, absolutely. But if you're around passionate people, it's going to grow, especially if it's the same passion. But otherwise, even that, it's a character trait. So, connect with colleagues or partners, like-minded people, even if it's not on this project. Being around them will make you better. You'll have a positive influence on them, and I know they will on you. And then get rid of these energy-draining, toxic people. Entrepreneurs, they thrive when they're networking with other entrepreneurs. Totally unrelated products or endeavors. But passionate people, they're encouraging. So hopefully this helps. I know there's a lot going on with this. It's easy to slap a label on somebody. Slap a label on yourself. When you're talking about these things, I'm getting caught up in the moment. Enjoy that moment though, because that's going to spark something else. It may even spark a new passion. However, passion is something we all need. You're not too old. You're not too young. And so I love being around positive, passionate people. The stories and the trials we go through makes us tougher, makes us stronger. I mean, someone else's struggles, you can learn from that too. But if you're going to go through pain, make sure you benefit from it and it leads you toward what you're passionate about. All right. Thanks for Talking with Dave today. Hey, hit me up at dave@otalks.com or david@otalks.com, or just go to otalks.com and hang out for a while. But we appreciate it. Thanks for the, my goodness, all of the new people downloading. We've got 21 countries and well over 200 cities now. And it's fun because they're learning they're learning my style, I guess you could say. But I appreciate it so much. I appreciate it more than you know. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging in there. And thanks for Talking with Dave. Giddy up.